Record.
Okay.
Hey Laura, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Nicole?
Thank you
Long
very
time no, long time no see.
Yes. Let's have a start. Let's talk about accountability partners. And I thought I just opening up, what are your thoughts on accountability partners? How did you when you first heard about that concept from Ilana, what were your thoughts? And then how did you actually got towards like finding me as your accountability partner?
Well, I would say I have always had mentors, but I've never really had like a true accountability partner. Like in jobs, I had like coworkers who were peers, good friends, but never really had that relationship where, it was true accountability, like showing up on a regular basis, like holding each other, like setting goals and saying, well, hey, Nicole, you said you were going to do this in 30, 60, 90 days. So I hadn't really had that level of relationship with somebody. So when I started in Leap, I was like, I wonder what this is going to be like. And in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, I got to find an accountability partner. I got to find an accountability partner. And I remember one day being on one of the Leap calls and just hearing you talk. And I'm like, that's the person I need. She's going to kick my butt. She's going to hold me accountable. And I'm like, and so that's where it was. And I was like, hey, Nicole, do you have an accountability partner? That's how I found you. You impressed me, and I was like, I need somebody like Nicole who is really gonna hold me accountable.
It's quite interesting because for me, the word accountability was like, I don't need somebody who holds me accountability or accountable for something. It was more, I need somebody who challenged me, who
Right.
don't say, oh, good done. It's like, have you thought about that? There is a blind spot you have. You should look into this kind of topic too.
Right.
And then the third piece is more like pushing me across my fear or things that I'm not don't want to do, where I get out of my comfort zone, even maybe get into that kind of imposter syndrome, taking me out and pushing me towards that. Was really more what I was looking for. But at the beginning, I I I'm very driven on when I set myself goals, but it's
Right.
like how to make impact on your goals in a qualitative sense. I think that was more where I was coming from. But I can say I'm so glad we met because it's like we we really, getting ourselves moving ourselves along. I think that's yeah.
You've been a source of inspiration for me because I tend to get super excited and I have all these ideas, and I know you've seen it too. And it's just like sometimes I have a hard time, for me personally. For work, I'm like, nope, I got to focus. I got to do this. But for me, it's like I feel like I spread myself too thin. I kind of, you know, like, oh, I have five things I want to work on. But so that's been one of the hardest things for me, is to really kind of narrow in on what is it that I want to focus on. And I will tell you that in our journey together, there was a pivotal moment with you that, to me, it probably has been the most insightful, kind of biggest aha moment I got out of our relationship so far. Because as a consultant, I'm used to being the third party, and it's easier when you're a third party kind of looking in to say, hey, I see this in you, I see this happening, whereas it's harder to see that in yourself. And in that example, I know what you know exactly what I'm gonna say. It's when I have kind of talked about, like, looking for new opportunities in terms of jobs versus thinking about consulting, continuing to do consulting work, because that has been one of my struggles is, do I want to go and own something, or do I want to continue being that third party, like having that outside perspective, coaching, counseling, guiding clients? And as I started talking about one of my favorite clients, Beth, you know who you are, that you pointed out to me, you're like, Laura, your face lights up. I had almost convinced myself that I wanted to go a different route, but listening to you share that feedback about how my face lit up when I talked about, client work or particular clients. That to me was just something that I couldn't see for myself. And so that has been one of the most valuable insights that you've shared with me that I truly, truly value.
But that comes on a very interesting topic, namely that what is the fire that burns inside of you, and where do you want to get along? And when I think about when I joined Leap, I was like, I know I wanted to change something, but I didn't know where I wanted to go. And I was like, should I do my own consulting? Should I go back into consulting? Should I stay with go-to-market? Should I stay even just within Microsoft with my own team that I had? And getting that clarity was so important. And I would not say for me that there was one moment in time, but it's like where I think, but it all came together at one point in probably January, February, when we were talking, and I was on my way, was like, no, I want that. And that kind of, and we talked about it. Can you remember when we went down and to Phoenix and we met, and I was like, and I was thinking that is where it really lightened myself up, that there is more than just one path, that I actually would like to do several. And the experience, hey, you can do so much more, you can achieve so much more than what you thought yourself can. And I think we talked a lot about that when we were together, and that kind of enthusiasm and inspiration we got from other people. I found that was for me along the way super helpful, and having somebody as an accountability partner who understands where you're coming from and being able to talk, even if you think you can be vulnerable and
Right.
you can say, hey, I feel out of my comfort zone. Oh my God, I don't want to network. I don't want to do this and that. And when you were like, have you talked here and there? Have you seen that? You know more my story now, where I want to get to. And I think that understanding without, similar than you said, you saw me, I saw you lightening up, but you do the same because you nudge me. Is that really what you want? Are you really want to go there? I think is super important.
Agreed.
Another topic which I think where accountability partners can help a lot, where I find, I know a lot of people are looking for new jobs at the moment. And, it's like, and you going out there helping me with test running really interviews, mock interviews, and going through that, when I sent you through, here's the job description, and you just went through and, put it into ChatGPT, get me some questions to ask for Nicola. And I think that was so useful for me because it not only did these mock interviews prepare me really on how an interview is, and basically your brain runs through it while you can visualize it. It's the more often you practice this, the better it is. But practicing alone, just pitching doesn't feel like right. But having somebody who ask questions, really ask you questions you don't know on how to answer you, so you need to think on the spot, because that was what happening in an interview as well. You are prepared, but you're not prepared for everything. And then getting feedback like, do that shorter. No, when you said to me, Nicole, in the intro call, you should quickly your name, what you stand on a high level in one sentence, your three main points, why you like the company, and what you want to get out of the interview. I use that, put it into I have a Word document where I use that. I put it in and I use that. It really hits home. It's far better when, a lot of people, when you ask, tell me more about yourself, and you start really in the back, like career 35 years back or 25 years back, that's actually wrong. It's what is important for the company to get into. And you reminded me on that. And I think that is one of the crucial moments where in my interviewing process, I got so much better. And I actually use that now when I mentor other people who are just talking, saying, hey, use that kind of setup was really, so thank you very much for that.
That was a late night scroll on Instagram. I was following someone. I'm like, ooh, I have to save that. I have all these saved pictures from Instagram of people's stories, and great tips like that. So yeah, and great insights come from everywhere, and I think that's part of the beauty of having, a network like Leap and having accountability partner or partners, is that we all have our own individual set of experiences. So having other people that you can bring together to talk about your, shared experiences, or where somebody has, different experiences, I think is great. One of the other things I would add that I think is, I was going to say unique, but I don't know if it's unique, but what I think is special about our relationship, you alluded to it in one of my LinkedIn posts, that you and I have developed a friendship too, right? So it's more than just the professional. So, you know, you and I both have been through some, personal challenges since we've known each other, and you have been right there. And it's like, you are the person that I call sometimes before I call family. So I definitely, that part has been such a huge, meaningful part of our relationship. And I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't met you back in early
Would be
2024.
would be somebody else, but I think it's likewise. I can give that back. It's really a friendship, and I think it's actually the vulnerability. Opening up, that is the vulnerability which starts with that you learn, that you build trust,
Yes.
and that is actually what leads towards a friendship.
Yeah.
And but a very open friendship, and I think and you said it, it's give and get, but it's never equal at one single point in
Right.
time, and that is okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And um and I really enjoy, it's like on Saturday when I had that, oh my God, I have that opportunity here. But it's like, who I tell now? Who I tell? And it's like, okay, I need to call Laura. And damn it, Laura doesn't answer the call. What do I do now? Um,
I just Nicole, something's happening. What's going on?
No, but it's wonderful, and I think for somebody who listens to that recording here, I would just say, go out and get yourself an accountability partner. And there's not always the right accountability partner, and you maybe need two accountability partner like you have now. You have an accountability partner for walking. Oh my God.
Super. It's awesome. It's perfect. Right.
Yes, and I think it's so important to have that. And I think it's similar to mentors. I think you need more than one sometimes
I
to for different reasons and different viewpoints in life on where you should go and who can help you. But
I agree. I know, and it's the older I get, I recognize it's like I can't do it alone. I always use the saying, "It takes a village." It really does take a village between our collective networks to to be successful and to find the joy in work and joy outside of work. It's all about building upon those relationships and leveraging what we learn from each other. So I truly have valued ours, and I don't see us ending those Friday, and if I know when we first started, I was like, oh, Friday, like that's late for, Friday at 5 o'clock. But now I'm just like, it's like, I got to talk to Michelle. I got to talk to Nicole. I can't wait to talk to Nicole and tell her what's happening, give her the updates on, some of my wins, and honestly pick your brain. So that has become, the highlight of it closing out the week. And I know sometimes we talk throughout the week as well, but yeah, it's great having that to look forward to, and knowing that I have a sounding board and a cheerleader at all times.
No, but that sounding board, and it's that, hey, are you sure you want to do that? But even when you push it to Sunday, it's a good start for the next week. I mean, we all get very, very busy, but it's important that you take time for it. That is really where I come in, when we think often, oh, we need to do this, that. and family, work. There were a lot of things, and we're all busy. But if you want to really grow yourself, I think it's something which is really an important piece of it. So I wouldn't want to miss it anymore. But now running since nearly 6 months.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I know, and it's like the what's the saying when you're on an airplane, the safety message, it's like put your mask on first. I mean, it's that concept. If we don't take care of ourselves first and get the right support, it's hard to do the things that we need to do for other people. So, we gotta take care of us.
Good. Thank you. Look, it was a pleasure, and to the next time.
Looking forward to it.